one is the Vault with the AWS. These are the two things we are going to do it today itself, and then we'll be completing the our entire Ansible part of it. Okay, and another thing is yeah, we will be entering into the by the end of this Ansible course, we completed the actual DevOps part. Now we are going to enter into the security aspect of it, which is especially the DevSecOps part of it. And majorly, these are the another few concepts. I mean, securing the cloud environment, continuous security, what exactly the SaaS, DAST, IAST, and what are the tools available for the Docker security and network security. We will talk about all these are the theoretical part, but these two are the practical parts of it. Okay, and especially the AWS Shield and AWS WAF. These are the some of the practical part we would be doing, like we do hands-on, and these are also, I mean, not like a practical, these are the theoretical part how these will works, because some of the tools are enterprise, we can't use it that, but I can try to show you as much as possible. And yeah, these are also we will also talk about the ELK and Splunk, what are all these tools, and if possible we will try to install on our local machine. But Splunk is like we can't able to install because this is another enterprise edition. And what are all standard security frameworks they were been using for most of the organizations when it comes to uh, DevSecOps implementation part in their organization. So this is all the theoretical parts. Okay, so majorly as a DevSecOps person, you won't be working on the complete stack of the security frameworks, but as a part of you guys, you have to know what are all tools are available, how to use it. This is what you would be knowing it. Okay, and the remaining things will be taken care of by the one of the guy called SOC, which is a security operational analyst. So he will be taking care of all the security aspects. Like what he would be taking care of is majorly um, like he will monitor it. If any of the anonymous activity is happening, he will be finding out using the Splunk, by using ELK. Splunk is another security monitoring tool which will keep on watch you, like what is happening in application aspect, and how it's going. Are there anonymous activities? Are there any ports got exposed? So all the activities will be monitored by the Splunk tool using one of the person called SOC. So that is one thing, and he will be automating couple of things using a SaaS and DAS tools along with the IaaS tools. We will talk about what are all tools are available, and for that, and I think this is a little bit our area where we need to talk about the Docker security scan also. Here also, when it comes to the network security scan, what you need to do is you have to know what are all tools are available. AWS Shield, AWS WAF, and Docker security. These are some of the practical area where you need to do hands-on, and we'll also do the same thing. But uh, but we won't go as much as deep one, because others are like knowing things for you guys as a DevSecOps person. Okay. Yeah, I think probably in another 1 week or in another 1.5 week from next week onwards, we will be completing our the course. Uh, Probably some theoretical concepts will take a 1 hour session, but the remaining hands-on session will take 2 sessions. So this is how we will be going forward for another 1 week or 1.5 week. Okay. So, okay. Uh, Saying that, let's continue our thing. which is our vault security, which is nothing but the managing the security aspects and vaults, and another one is an integrating with the AWS part here. Okay. Okay, here the best thing is, as I always, DigitalOcean is one of the best tutorial if you want to understand the very basics about the any of the things, not only for Ansible or anything. They the articles they do provide is very basic one, but it's very lengthy, but it's fine because it has some content. Okay, now let's use this. So basically, Vault is another kind of a service or another command in Ansible where we will be storing or handling the sensitive information. For example, right? I'll tell you the use case where, for example, in our inventory file, we have used Ansible username and password, right? What we have done is we have defined a password in a very plain text format. So whoever is executing or whoever has been seeing that code, right, he will able to see the entire code. He will able to see the code in it. Okay, so that's not the right one. So we have to encrypt it. To encrypt such kind of things, right? There is a something called Ansible Vault. Vault is another service like or another command like Ansible Playbook or Ansible. These are the commands, right? Similarly, here we have a Ansible Vault is another command. It has come to us to encrypt the data or a file. You can encrypt variables in a vault, or you can encrypt the entire file together. This is one scenario. Okay. Another scenario is, for example, generally when you are starting an application, right, you would pass a one application dot properties file. Okay, this application dot properties file you would be which contains all the properties to your what do you say, your application configuration. Let me show you that application dot properties file which contains all the connections. So oh my god, this is looks awesome. Application properties. See, in the application.property file, what do they define is all the information related to their configuration of a database, or if any third-party dependencies or any secrets if they have, or any key store values. So there is a lot of things they could be defining in the application.properties file. This is a very small example where they have defined their database configuration. Okay, so which contains all the secrets information about the database also here. So meaning what I want to say is in the application.property file, they will be defining their secrets like username and password of their database. Or not only this, they will be defining their secrets. I mean secrets in the sense key store file as key store values, like if your application is trying to talk with any another application, that application is require an authentication, right? What they do is, instead of providing you the username and password, what they do is they do provide a username and a key, private key. That private key you would be storing in your Java key store file. Java key store file is another I could say a concept in a Java where you can store all the key files in it. For example, if you want to understand in a simple way, if you want to log into AWS EC2 machine, you would get a PEM file or PEM file or what is that? Another one, PPK file, right? What do you use? You use either of these and then log into the EC2 machine via putty or terminal, right? Similar way, if your Java application want to connect with or not only connect or communicate with another application which has that application has authentication enabled, then you start using the a key store. Okay, like putty you have used, right? They will also using that. So all that kind of information you would be defining in your application.property files. Okay, so all the secrets, even if the third party integration or they would be providing a client ID, secret ID, or different things, right? They would be defining in the application.properties file. Okay, so it's not the right way of doing things in the plain text format. You would be applying the Ansible Vault as an encrypt format. So you would be encrypting it, uh, the files that you are going to define in the plain text format. Okay. So for this, you don't need to specifically install anything. You just need to use a Ansible Vault. That's it. You would use a Ansible-Vault, and this will come along with your Ansible installation. Okay, this will be encrypted using the AES 256 algorithm. Okay, so meaning when it is trying to encrypt, right, there are ways that algorithms you need to apply. By default, it will use the AES 256 algorithm, which is uh, a medium level of, which is a difficult, actually. I could say a medium level of algorithm, meaning it's not that much difficult, I could say. SHA-256, SHA-555, something. There are a lot of algorithms to while encrypting we need to provide. So this one is AE256. It is going to apply. Okay, and the command that we do use Ansible Vault. Okay, when we do Ansible Vault, it will open in the default editor. That editor could be vi or anything. If you want to change that, you can pass another parameter before running Ansible Vault as editor. Okay, or you can share, you can configure the editor in the your bash or zip profile itself. Either of the way you can do that. Okay, so next one is, yeah, this is the basic configuration. If you want to change the default editor of for the Ansible Vault command, how do we use? See, encrypted files. So basically you have a vault.yaml file. The YAML file contains your some kind of a text. Your playbook, for example. If you, whatever the playbook that you have written, right, uh, um, you have written, right, if you want to encrypt the entire YAML file itself or entire playbook itself, you can just use the Ansible Vault, the create, and vault.yaml file. That's it, and nothing else apart from that. Okay, so once you have done it, if you see that, you will get a all the output in the encrypted format, as in such this one. Okay, and once that is done, if you want to right, encrypt the plain text, meaning, for example, what he has done is he created a encrypt me.txt, which contains a unencrypted stuff, which means a plain text format. What he is doing is he's just encrypting it. Okay, in earlier example, he has just encrypted the playbook, and here he encrypted the text, a simple text file. Okay, this is what he has it, and he's just displayed what does it contains. Okay, now let's see the viewing part. How? Okay, now we have encrypted. How to view that encrypted file here? Instead of create, we will use a view in the Ansible Vault, view space, and the vault file, whatever it is encrypted. It will, here the point is, whenever you do encrypt, right, it will ask you the password. You have to remember that password, and even when you are viewing it, you have to share the same password. If you forget to if you forget that password, you will be ending up not able to view that file at all. So we have to be careful while giving a password also here. Okay, now editing encrypted files. So now we have viewed with the same password. Now for encrypting it, first what we do is, it will ask you the password and then open the file in the plain text format. Then you start editing it and then do commit and save. That's it. This is what it has been. We would be doing a creating a secret, reading a secret, and modifying a secret. The secrets can be a single data, a variable, or it could be a file. Okay, now this is let's do the same thing here, and then we will see. remaining part also. Let me start my virtual boxes here. I think here I can have only one VM itself, because we are not going to do anything in the remote missions, but only this is exclusively for handling a secrets in a file. I mean secrets, a file, or particular keywords in a file. Okay. So now let me start. It's going to up. Okay, what this guy has done is, what is this? Manually decrypting encrypted files here. So, meaning earlier we have seen only the view the encrypted, you know, files by using a command called view. Okay, what does it do is, whenever you do the operation, right, it will open, it will decrypt and then show you in the plain text format. Once you exited from the file, again it will be in the decrypted, encrypted format. But if you want to completely decrypt it, what you do is, you would be using a decrypt command here, so it will come in the plain text format. So whenever you open a decrypted file, it will be in the plain text always, because you have decrypted it and you just not viewed it. Okay, this is another he has shown us, and this is changing the password. So basically what you need to do is, what you need to know is how to create a particular variables or files, or how to encrypt the variables or files, and how to view it, and how to edit it, how to delete it. These are the basic CRUD operations: create, update, delete. Something in a database will cause a CRUD operations, right? So similarly, we'll also do the same operations, like how to create and update and delete. These are the things we will be doing with the Ansible Vault. Okay. Now my mission is back here. Now I have open here. Okay, this is my IP address. Okay, cool. Okay, so I brought my mission here. Ansible. Okay, so there is a something called Ansible Vault -help. So let's see how many things that we do have. Yeah, see, these are all the basic things what we have just discussed there. You can provide a Ansible Vault create, Ansible Vault view, Ansible Vault encrypt, Ansible Vault edit, Ansible Vault decrypt, and there it could be all of the files. Okay, so these are all the available options for the Ansible Vault command, and you can provide a file here. Okay, now if you want to go, how to use of all this, right? How to use of all this means, how these are being internally used. You can provide or you can start in a verbose mode. Verbose means it will just display all the debug information also here. Okay, Ansible Ansible World -help. Okay, so now let's try the same thing what this guys has been also following here. So what he has done is, I'll make obviously it will use a VA editor for me, and let's see this here. Ansible World create. For example, what are the files that I do have? Okay, let's say print variable playbook, I want to use it. So for that, what I do is world create print variable.yaml, and password I'm giving is and okay, what it is saying, please use. Okay, it is clearly saying print variable exist. Yeah, I want to use the existing only. Okay, understood. So what we can do is, I don't think, let's try this. Okay, input is not a vault encrypted data. So you can apply the edit only on encrypted one, not a plain text one. What this guy is saying is print variable is already there. I can't create it. This is the first error it is showing. And then we are trying to edit it, the existing one, since it existed. It is saying, okay, it is existed fine, but it is not encrypted format. So I can't able to edit it. I can do only vault edit of on a encrypted format. So what I can do is Ansible, Ansible encrypt, I mean vault encrypt print variable, and it's asking a password. Yeah. So now let's see what is the content of print variable here. Okay. This is what encrypted format of the Ansible playbook, which we have just encrypted. Now let me decrypt the same thing here. Okay, see now let's see print thing. Yeah, it has been backed into the decrypted format. This is the way how do you encrypt an existing file? How do you decrypt an existing file? Now let's create a file which are like a, I'm just giving my playbook one.yaml here, and now it is going to create. Okay, password did not match. Okay, for everything it is starting, and I mean it is asking a password for viewing, creating, for deleting, for decrypting, for encrypting, everything. So then you start writing here your playbook, so no one will able to view your entire playbook definition if they have encrypted format. Okay, so this is what I do have. Test encrypted functionality, and command is debug -msg. This is a message from debug module. So simple. Okay. Okay, this is it. Now let's see what is happened after this. Okay, I'm just displaying my playbook. See, this is one. And now what I want is I want to view this. View my playbook one. It is asking me the password. See, it is just displayed in the plain text format. But if you still see the this guy, it is still in encrypted. This particular, when you do view up command, right? This is a point of viewing only, meaning it won't finally, I mean, permanently convert your encrypted and then show you. It will just show you for the short time or that particular session or that particular time period. Okay, but if you want to decrypt this, I mean if you want to permanently decrypt this, again you have to use a Ansible playbook, I mean Ansible Vault, Ansible Vault decrypt and the file name. So it will be permanently decrypted this. Okay, these are the, and the remaining things as usual you need to work as all the playbook, like you can use the Ansible playbook command and then provide you this file same as it is, so you don't need to worry about the remaining parts of it. Okay, any questions guys? Basically in an interview, right, the major area where they would be focusing on is this life cycle part. What you do, where do you use these commands, that's it. Okay, and nothing major about it. Okay, so if you know how to use, where to use these commands, you are done with the Ansible secrets and walls. Okay, any questions guys? Sharanya, Kiran. Okay, okay, cool, right. Thank you. Now let's move to the next part, which is Ansible and AWS. Basically, what are modules which has been available, how to use that. This is another one here. Okay, as I mentioned here, if you remember, while learning a Terraform, we have talked about the providers or the resources, right? So where they would be providing or they would be publishing some of the resources, some of the providers for every most of the tools, right? We found a lot of providers related to the AWS, Azure, GCP, VMware, local modules. So to deal with their own resources, right? Here also, when we want to work with Ansible with AWS, we got a modules called AWS modules. Okay, in these modules, these are the module names. Basically, you would be using it. So which is nothing but a module is a, if you remember, while learning ad hoc commands, while learning a playbooks, while writing a roles, we used some modules which are internally developed, right? Similarly, these modules also will be used. Okay, for example, if you want to create an EC2 instance, you would be getting here. Okay, EC2 instance module. Okay, so this is one of the module that we want to use this, and then write your playbook, and then you start using or creating a EC2 instance here itself. Okay, so if you want to use, if you want to see that, see this here. This is an example for start an instance with a public IP address. Yeah, this is the best one which you can easily understand here. Okay, so the name of this task is AWS start an instance with an public IP address. Okay, and the module name that he has used is, we would have been used a copy module or file module or system CTL module or system modules or service module. Here the module name is amazon.aws.ec2 instance. We should install completely. I mean, we should mention this completely exact name out of it. Generally, we would have been used EC2 instance only, but since it is exclusively for the AWS, we have to define the entire module name itself, and it is going to require these many parameters. The first one is the name of your instance, and the next another one is a prod SSH key, which is nothing but it is going to use the same SSH key which is already in there, and it is using the subnet called subnet 15c-able, and instance type he's want to create is C5 large, and the security group is applying the default one, and the network is going to assign public IP. So he's not changing anything in the network settings except the public IP address here. And image ID he is using is this one, AMI12345, which is a wrong actually, which is like, if you remember, while creating while choosing a OS like Ubuntu or Windows or Amazon Linux image or any other, right, it will have its own unique AMI ID. So this is what this AMI ID, and it's requiring a tags. That's it. So these are all the parameters he is passing while creating a EC2 instance. And if you want to attach the EBS volume here, if you see here, he is attaching another concept, I mean another property called volumes. In the volumes, he is just defining what is that device name, which is a dev SDA1 or SDA2 or SDA3 or anything. And finally, how much size of that thing you want to add. So like this, for each and every example, he has given a different properties. If we want to know what are all properties this particular module contains, let's come here and then see this part, okay? This one, yeah, parameters, yeah. So access key, availability zone, AWS CA bundle, AWS config, count, CPU credit specifications, CPU options, debug, detail monitoring, EBS optimized, endpoint URL, exact count, which is for launching multiple instances, filters, IAM instance profile if you want to attach any of the things, an image name, which is nothing but image ID, AMI ID, and kernel also you can specify. So here is the image ID, instance ID, you can define if you have anything specific, and instance type, key name, template if there is already available, some metadata options, and these are the sub properties of a metadata option here. And name of EC2 instance, and the network will have assigned public, I mean network will have these many sub properties which are nothing but a public IP, a termination, I mean these are all the network related properties, so you can use if it is required, okay? If you mention this as a true, it will just assign the private IP addresses only, not a single one, multiple one, including a I think yeah, private VPC IP addresses also. Okay, so if you go all the things, right, secret key, access key, we have to provide all these in one thing. Okay, so this is what we would be providing all the information or all the properties in AWS EC2 instance module. Okay, now let's try to execute this, but for this we should have a key values of us AWS. Sharanya, Kiran, do you have any AWS secret and access keys? I do have it, but I have disabled those stuff. I mean those processes. That's why those are invalid for me. Let me know if you guys have it. We can try it. If not, no issues. We'll try to create it. Okay. Just give me a second. I'll just I need to switch back again. I think I should be doing that part. No, I need to create it. So, okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'll be log out because I need to fetch it from another account, which are in another way. Okay, I got those. Okay, let me share back again here. Okay, I got some old keys. I can try. Okay, now let's try to do the same thing here. Okay, so now while you are using this one, right? First, what you need to do is you should have this to be installed. I mean, you should install your role or your module in the Ansible itself. Now let's install this part here. Okay, so this is one, and one more thing is since there are some prerequisites actually. I don't know why they did not mention here, but we can see this. Okay, to install this one, you further, yeah, this guy, this is where he has mentioned to use the see the requirements part of it here. Okay, so what does it mean is, yeah, see, correct. In the same file itself, he has mentioned here. Where is this guy? Yeah, requirements, right? We should have a Python 3.6 version greater than of this, and Boto 3 and Boto Core. These are the two version, I mean, three tools we should have installed if we want to work with the AWS I mean Amazon AWS module in the Ansible. Okay, so why? Because internally the AWS SDK would be using a Python based one, and again Boto 3 is another tool which Python have a functionality to integrate or to communicate with the AWS console. These are the basic one which as a prerequisite if we want to work with the Ansible and AWS module. Now let's check whether what version of this we do have it. Python 3 we do have. Okay. So now Boto 3, I guess we do not have Boto 3. Let's check. Okay, Boto 3, we do not have anything. So let's install this. Okay. And then we need to install Ansible Galaxy collection, install Amazon AWS. And even if we do this, it may work it, but when you do a runtime, it may not work. So that's why let's make sure install Boto 3 and Boto core for Ansible module. Okay, so yeah, this guy is already reported. It's not able to find any of this, even if it is installed. Okay, that's why he's saying Python version. Okay, okay, pip freeze. He's using it. No, this is not the way. I think let's do this and then find these guys. Okay, we can directly go this way. Pip install boto 3 hyphen hyphen user. Why we should pass a hyphen hyphen user? No, we shouldn't pass these guys. Okay, so install boto, pip install. Yeah, we can do this way. Okay, and AWS credentials. Okay, okay, cool. We can directly go this guy. Mm, okay, pip3 is also not been presented here. Okay, now we just install the Boto 3, and next we will do the permissions. Okay, then do this. Okay, now Boto 4 already been presented. Okay, now let's come back to our requirements part. We have Python, Boto 3, Boto core. Probably we may get an issue. If at all not, we were good. And now let's install this guy. Okay, so then we will see. And first we can see the list of module also. Ansible Galaxy collections list. So now these many modules that you can install it. Okay, Cisco related, AWS. See, the first one itself we do have. And if you want anything Azure, if you want a GCP, or if you want a Cisco, see, these Ansible team or Ansible community team has developed all these modules and then available for usage in the Ansible Galaxy itself. Meaning basically they have written a roles and then added some other extra functionality and then publishing it here. Okay, now what we do is we will install Ansible Galaxy collection, install amazon.aws. So it is already installed it. Consider using a force if you want to reinstall them. Okay, it is saying I've already installed, you can use it simply. Okay, now let's use this part here itself. So let's take the existing example here itself. Okay, so um, okay, what I can take is not required a CPS instance. This is for starting an instance. I want start, I don't want a starting. I want to create. Of course, yeah, obviously, right? Wherever does not have an instance ID, which is nothing but a, see, this operation is they are creating on existing one. Okay, this is how they think. But here we want is start basically. So I think we can use this option. Okay, so we are in this here, Nano, AWS EC2 playbook. YAML, paste the content here, and the name of your instance could be public instance, and subnet. Actually, we don't know the actual subnet. Let's use the as it is, and T2 micro, and the key name also we don't know. Let's go with this one. So let's see. Mm, no, where is the AMID? I think we should not use this because we required a AMID. Yeah, this is the one. This is the right one, I could say. Okay. So, so this is the one. Yeah. Launch one of the instance called public instance, and for that use a prod SSH keys, and subnet which is used required for this is subnet 5CA1 and T2 micro. T2 dot micro, and security group is the default one, and image AMI mission is this. What I'll do is I'll find out AWS AMI ID for Ubuntu. So we can go to that also, but still I'm looking at if there is any helpful. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one AMI IDs. US East one. Okay, this is Ubuntu of this 16.04. Of course, this is a old one, but it's fine. Still, we can use this. This is the one. This is the one. Okay, this is our image ID, which will launch the Ubuntu 16.04. And VPC, we can use basically a default VPC. For that, AWS default VPC Ansible, because we can use, yeah, again this guy is redirected to our here only, I mean our documentation only. Let's see in our document itself, we can get some default VPC. Okay, yes, this property we can use is default, indicates whether this is a default VPC. Return always sample is a false by default. Now what I'll do is, instead of this, what I do use is true. So this is what I do use it, and that's it. Okay. Now let's see Ansible playbook and become pass. Okay. Start an instance. Is not a valid attribute for a playbook. Okay. So meaning this was not able to detect, I mean this particular playbook was not able to utilize this particular module. Okay. So we have to exclusively pass a couple of commands while running itself. Okay. Without indentation of the command line directive as a part of the overall part. One is not a valid attribute of the play duplicate. Okay. But we have been followed it, right? Tasks, hosts, and all the stuff we have done it here. Okay, let's add this parameter also here itself. Host all, and what else we do have? Tasks. Under the tasks, we do have this one, but still I would being okay. We were unable to read either a JSON nor YAML. These errors we got from each. Okay, this is basically from the here itself. Okay, there it is. These are all the indentation that we do need to provide also here. Okay, let's do this stuff. Most probably there is another error. Yeah, right. The error appears to be in the exact syntax problem. Okay, what we can do is okay. So host task. Let's see this guy. Okay, we should be also doing the similar part of it here. It's going fine, but still it is reading it. Failed to connect to the host via SSH to 103 and 104. Okay, so we have to pass now. I mean, this playbook is syntactically fine and everything it is trying to do, but it is what it is doing is it is trying to execute the missions itself. Okay, 104 and 103, which we have configured 2 days back. Now let's see the way how we run this one. See, everything is you in the documentation only. So, right, sometimes we would be using, the development part of the documentation also, which they have some more modules, which do not have another modules itself here. Okay, I don't know what has happened with this guy, but fine here. Let's see. Ansible module. No, they should be passing these parameters basically here. Okay, we should be passing the keys also here, right? We will do that, no issue. But um, where is our thing? Here we do have, right? Here we should be passing AWS access key. I'm defining here, but fine. Access key is this is my access key. Yeah, this is the one I should be providing. Secret key. Okay, no, this we have to do some changes in it. Okay, this is access key. This is a secret key. Okay, access key and secret key. Awesome. Okay, now the thing is, Ansible AWS module. Yeah, see this connection local interpreter and everything. Okay, these are the guys that they have been given. Okay, these guys have already installed here. He has written and he found the AMIDs from this. Of course, we have used in this. Here, he is directly using launcher.yaml itself. Okay, let's see what this guy has done it here. He just installed it. We don't do that. Okay, hypothesis for the connections itself. It's okay for guys. What I'll do is I'll create separate video for this, and then I'll publish in my tutorials one, so I can provide you that video also. Okay. But the problem is, what is the problem now is it's not able to pick the AWS module in this one. We have to pass. If you see here, we have to pass. Where is this guy? Yeah, we have to pass. Yeah, see here we have to pass via command line arguments to use which Python and which Boto we have to install it. Okay, so this is how we have to pass this. Anyway, we can see it from here itself, but still, yeah, see this connection local tags and something, but still I don't think it should use this because let's try one more time here. F1 connection equal to local. Right, true. It's not going to it's not going to take. By default, it has to take it and then execute all these Boto. I mean, using a Python Boto related. Then should automatically execute it. Okay, no issues. I'll publish another separate video for this. And then we will talk it here. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, we will talk about the security aspect, guys. Okay, as we mentioned here, we will be starting some of the theoretical concepts which are related to the security and where the security aspects and what are the practices will be used, or we will be starting one of the shield itself. I mean, shield or WAF at least. Okay, that's it, guys. Any questions? Okay, cool. If not, let's